Alrighty then. This is feedback from the 9th session with the Monsignor. And looks like I'll keep this going. Keep my fingers crossed, right? It may dwindle down gradually as my schedule becomes more full in the autumn. You know, that could happen. Summers are a lot slower. So today we talked about the dream that I had and already reported up here on YouTube. That was well into the session, though, that I reported to him that dream of Jesus Christ calling me from across the street at St. Joseph's to invite me to receive him or to assist in the sacrifice of the Mass, and that he was heartbroken in his attempt to acquire my attendance and calling me back. And I had that dream sometime prior to these sessions. I don't know if it could have been a matter of months ago or a year ago. I don't know how long ago it was. I remember it like it was yesterday because, well, it was an important dream, and I know that I didn't respond to it right away, so that's how I know that it must have been some time ago. I didn't respond to it right away. In fact, I remember continuing to place that invite on the shelf due to the revelations of abuse that are circulating on internet, and that the abuse is a systemic infiltration, allegedly beginning with the Jesuits. Some people believe that it is allegedly beginning with the fall of Adam, as it were, going all the way back, at least going all the way back to Egypt and before. So Babylon, Egypt, and Adam. At any rate, so the legacy of brokenness with man's fall from grace in Eden has been compelling us all to be dual enrolled with good and evil in every system of the earth for thousands of years. What I did was I couldn't show him evidence of the Jesuit oath because I couldn't bring my trusty little LG tablet, since my LG tablet was in the process of uploading one of my videos, the video on narcissism. And but the Jesuit oath is extremely, well, it's represented on the internet as extremely psychopathic, if you will. And so I just gave him a general view of the archaic oath. Although I don't know how archaic it is, since the Jesuits were only formed about 500 years ago. And so he got the idea based on my summary of it, And he said that the Jesuits have had a reputation for being on the liberal side, and as a matter of fact, the Catholics and Protestants criticized them for this and for being a little too, world friendly, and their in their um, promotion of their taste for art, etc., he said. And so that they would be, they tend to be on the liberal side and are world friendly and are, So he said that he had a hard time believing that this Jesuit oath has any authenticity to it. And I said, well, is it possible that that at one time it did, and they just perhaps continue to use it in a ceremonial way as a matter of tradition? And he didn't think that because he thought that they would find that abhorrent. It's one thing to want to stomp out heresy. It's another thing to want to actually kill the heretic. And so the positive things that came out of this. So we were. Let me get back. Let me get into the Freemasonry next, and that was that I had raised this awareness on internet that people who start out in the Freemasonry start out with good intentions, and then as they graduate, they may tend to go off the deep end and go a different route, and he agreed. So, but then I went back and I and stated that the oaths that they take seem to be a denial of Christ, and that they tend to be all inclusive as well. And I said, it's a shame that these infiltrations could be, sacrificing, the innocent, or even more unfortunate if the innocent are being brainwashed right up until the moment of death. And that is when he said, but Jesus is right there for everyone at the moment of death. He's right there as a recourse. Giving us all the opportunity to choose him, even in the case that such innocence had been brainwashed right up until that point of finality. And Jesus always meets us there, because he said on the cross that was one common factor of life experience that he had in common with everyone on the globe. And that is our mortality. When he took upon our mortality, that is the one factor that we all share in common. Because our quality of life has variables. But the fact that we all die is a fact of life. And so it's a fact of life for one and all. And so that is the one universal thing that he could share in common with us. And he chose the most excruciating death to practice his steadfast love for his Heavenly Father and for us through it all, so that he could meet us there at that moment, and that nobody will be left out of the experience in that hour, in their final hour. Regardless of whatever confusions and puzzles and wrestling and fears and turmoil and hills and valleys that we had gone through here, he will meet us there. And we will see him in the fullness of his revelation and be able to choose yea or nay in that hour. He doesn't come as a judge in that hour. He comes as a recourse.